welcome to Misfit Mondays. Thank you so much for joining us. For those of you that haven't watched the show before, Misfit Mondays is a show where we talk about, all sorts of things that are going on around the world. We put our perspective on it, and we like to hear from you guys and kind of hear what your perspective is on these things. It's really interesting because we like to kind of have a dialogue with the fans. So as we're doing the show, if you guys have any questions for us, definitely feel free to ask those questions. We'll get to it during our Q&A session. Right now I'm joined by Bobby McIntosh, who I'm joined by every week. I'm usually joined by Yas, but Yas is away on business. So it's me and Bobby, and technically this is the third time we've done the show, just me and Bobby. So in a sense, it's our third date. And like I was telling Bobby earlier, third time's a charm. So my name's Cliff Skilleter, your host of Misfit Mondays, and welcome to the show. So Bobby, how you doing, buddy? What's going on?
You look fantastic on our third date. You actually look better each time. And I'm not drinking. I'm not drinking either. That's not like alcohol talking. You know what I mean? It's our third date, and you're growing on me.
Yeah, you would. Well, you would never drink on the show, like on a live show. Like
No.
you're a lot worse.
No.
Like, that would be a completely irresponsible thing to do. I don't know anybody that would do that.
No, I do. But hey, you're the only person to do it, and so I kind of feel that you should always be the only person to do it.
Yeah, well, that's kind of a good point. That's why I did it, right? I really wanted it to be my thing, I guess my shtick, you could say.
Your identity. But I can't lie, it made me want to do it. It made me want to do it.
Well, maybe if Yas drank, so Yas doesn't drink for those of you that don't know, maybe if Yas drank, like, it would be entertaining for the three of us, just to get wasted on air, just so people could laugh at us. But do you realize that 50% of our show, the people involved with this show, are non-drinkers?
Really?
Both Kyle doesn't drink. He hasn't had a drink in over 4 years.
Wow.
And Yas has never had a drink in his entire life.
So basically, Cliff, you and I carry the load. We carry the weight.
Well, you know what? I feel like we carry a hell of a responsibility because, we got to do that. I feel like by us going out and having a few drinks, we're kind of relieving stress for them.
Yeah, totally. I've been carrying the weight of Yas for Yas for years. Like on tour, what people may not know is backstage you get what's called a rider. Usually that's just it's food, alcohol, and all that alcohol comes to me. So I would be doing a disservice if I just left stuff behind. You know what I mean? I have to carry the weight.
Yeah, because if you guys are getting that rider and you're not using it, it doesn't work. I'm weird. I'm hearing my voice right now. That's really.
What's going on?
Yeah, that's freaking me out. Hold on, let me try and figure this out. This is awesome. This is like, I don't know, it's like David Boone reverse.
It's a typical Cliff and Bobby date, just a complete train wreck. But there's passion. We have heart, so it makes.
That's it, right? There's no give up.
Yeah,
this won't stop us.
No.
I am gonna try to figure this out. Oh, that explains it. So, like, the cool thing about this, the cool thing, I don't know if it's funny or cool, but I said that anyways. The show, there's a delay on the show, even though we're live, it's probably about the exact amount of time that you just heard our voices again there. About, what was that, 10 seconds behind?
Probably. Yeah,
so sometimes people will ask us a question, and I won't get the question for, like, whatever, 10, 15 seconds, and then we've already moved on to another topic. So keep that in mind. We did that for you guys. That was just, we were showing by example.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So, moving on from that, I know you have a show coming up. This is actually really exciting. Bobby, would you like to tell us about this show?
It is very exciting for numerous reasons. One, we're doing a show in Sudbury, Ontario, June 30th, and we are doing it at the same club that we did the 99 Red Balloons 80s DJing party, which is very cool for a nostalgic purpose because both Yas and I actually met like literally a block away in a school called Churchill. So we've kind of come full circle. We've played every venue possible in Sudbury, so we're bringing it back to where it all began. So we're stoked. It's at the Trevi, June 30th. We're selling a limited amount of tickets. We kind of want this one to be more of an intimate, interactive thing, as cheesy as that sounds. That's what we want to do, so we're stoked.
Well, it's kind of like the way we've defined it is it's a quarantine. It's a Sudbury quarantine. I'm actually putting the poster up on the Dead Celebrity Status wall right now so people can see it, but it's a Sudbury quarantine. We need to quarantine exactly no more than 180 people. All right? It's only going to be 180 people there, so we want to make sure that those people are safe inside the Trevi, being entertained by you guys.
Exactly. And it's gonna be super exciting, man. It's like I said, it's a smaller show. Usually when we play there, they're much larger shows, but this one we wanted to make it small, really cool. So excited, Cliff.
You guys are also selling VIP tickets as well, right?
We are. We're selling about, once again, a limited amount, so probably roughly around 40. We're just getting the details in now, like trying to figure out what we want to do, but there's going to be some really cool things. Cliff's going to be involved as well, so we got a lot of surprises. I'm telling you, it's going to be a fucking awesome night. So.
Yeah, I'm going to say one thing that we're going to do at that VIP party.
What is that, Cliff?
At the VIP aspect, I'll give away one aspect of it. Since we're doing a Misfit Mondays right now, we might as well let people know, because that's going to be on the Monday before Canada Day. So don't worry, the day after, you guys all have a day off. So you have a good day to recover and all of that, exciting stuff. Well, me and Bobby do. Yas and Kyle don't have to worry about that. They'll be up at the crack of dawn making us breakfast. But what we're going to do, since it's a Monday, we're going to do a live show. We'll do a live show from within the VIP party, and we're going to get the crowd involved with it, the people that are involved with that. So it'll be really exciting.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll have food there. We'll have beverages there, and we'll have some entertainment there as well. And we'll be shooting a live Misfit Monday show, which is fucking super cool, dude. We haven't done that yet.
We haven't done that yet, and I think that's going to be really cool, and on location together. The only thing we've done kind of together in a room, but it wasn't live, is when I used to produce that show, the episode. Remember that?
Yes, sir. Actually, you came down to T-Dot.
Yeah.
And it was the episode celebrating Sudbury and some people who come from Sudbury. And I remember it quite well because I was given a rock, and I love that rock. You know what I mean? It's where we come from. And I actually got a rock.
Yeah, you know what? I was really proud of that, actually. We did a really good job. Like, that episode was, like, that show, the TV show, the episode was such an interesting experience because it was a Sudbury-born thing, right? We kind of created the show. We did the live show. We had all sorts of wicked people involved with it. We were super stoked, and the show was really growing. And then we did the Toronto show, and we came together like you wouldn't believe. Like, the whole team got out there. We drove out to Toronto, we stayed together for the weekend. We had all these guests on. We got invited to this event, the thing you mentioned, Sudbury, or Toronto Celebrates Sudbury. Yeah. And we did what I believe was a great show, and probably our best show to date, And then just after that show, everything went downhill. It all just fell apart.
In traditional Sudbury style, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. There's no other way, right? Sudbury, we have a great way of, we have a great way of falling apart sometimes. So, that's basically what happened. So, with that being said, whoa, all right. I just got attacked by just a giant mosquito. Like, that thing is humongous. All right, that is something. Yeah, that's something. Yeah, it's another Sudbury thing. All right, so let's move on to the first section of the show, and that's our weekly deadlines. And what we're going to be talking about on Weekly Deadline is a pretty serious topic and something that happens way more often than it should, and it's completely unacceptable. But recently at a festival, it's called Rock Fest. A singer named Aaron Lewis, he's in the group Stained, During his performance, I guess a girl had jumped into the crowd and was crowd surfing, and while she was crowd surfing, um, guys were grabbing on her inappropriately, extremely inappropriately, basically molesting the girl. He stops his song, midway through his song to just call these guys out, and basically goes on a huge rant about, how this girl's young, how they're molesting her, how the crowd around them should beat them up, and that's just totally, the girl's just trying to ride the crowd. Then he picks his song back up and he goes, girls, feel free to crowd surf safely. So you've seen this. We've talked about this quite a bit, Bobby, and I just love to get your thoughts on this.
Well, my initial response is that shit happens, and it happens often. Me as a performer, like all the shows we've done, I've never actually seen it happen or heard it happen. What usually happens at our shows is we have a rule in terms of moshing. People fall, it gets violent, and we have a rule that if you fall, you help pick that person up. If I seen what was happening, like Aaron Lewis, I would have stopped the show, and I would have fucking freaked out too, dude. Like molesting a girl at a rock concert is not a good thing.
Yeah, and I mean, it's one of those things where, guys get some drinks in them and they think it's an opportunity to do things that are inappropriate. But there's still, what do you say to somebody that would come up with, let's say for some reason they would say, well, it's what you're doing, you're crowd surfing, right? So you're in a sense, you're asking to be touched. What's your response to that?
Well, there is physical contact in crowd surfing. There's no way around that, right? But physically touching somebody by holding them up or carrying them up on a body part is different than intentionally grabbing a breast or the vagina. Do you know what I mean? That's sexual touching. That's a lot different than physically holding somebody up, right? So what I would say to that is obviously it's completely fucking wrong. It's disgusting, and it shouldn't happen. Unfortunately, when you're dealing with large crowds like that, there are people who do that, and it happens.
Yeah, you're going to get these people that take that opportunity. No matter what, there's lines, and again, like you said, it's completely fucking disgusting. And
Totally.
People should be able to do whatever somebody else is allowed to do, and they should be allowed to do it safely, right? Just because they're dressed, they're women, and they may be attractive and young. They have just as much right to go out there and have fun and crowd surf, just like anybody else, right? So I think it's something that's completely sick. I'm glad that he drew attention to it. It's something that more people should really pay attention to. That the security themselves, even though they don't have the same view as the artist necessarily, they should be strongly paying attention to this as well, right?
I would completely agree. On another note, I've been groped. Do you know what I mean? I've been groped while crowd surfing as a performer and on stage. Just grabbing my penis or my balls. Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, there's kind of a double standard, but not for
There is a double standard.
I think the standard is doubled for a reason, though. I don't know if that even makes sense. But I think there is a big difference between grabbing a guy inappropriately and grabbing a girl inappropriately. And it's not my way of saying that women are weaker or anything like that. It's just that I think that guys deal with things in a completely different way, right? It's just the way that, I don't know, that we've been raised socially, mentally. It's just different for us. Not that it is, if you don't want it, anything that's unwanted shouldn't happen, right? But it's more likely for a guy to do this to a woman than a woman to do this to us. And when a woman does it to us, it's kind of different. We just laugh it off, and it's a big conversation, man. It really is.
Well, yeah, you have that social double standard for sure. That exists. And secondly, I'm not saying men are physically stronger than women. That's just a fact of biology. We are stronger than women. So often a woman can't protect herself like a man could. So
Yeah, well, and it's also the way it's viewed, right? I mean, it's just kind of viewed completely differently if we're being grabbed as opposed to a woman being grabbed, right? It's just a completely different thing altogether. And because it's all about the key there is wanted and unwanted attention, right? Men typically want that kind of attention because we're goofy like that. We like that stuff. Whereas women don't want that kind of attention. And that's a pretty known thing. And so any guy that's grabbing girls like that, that in his brain he's convinced himself, oh, that she wants it, that's the sickness right there. That's the problem.
Yeah. All right.
And that's the problem that needs to be addressed. And I really want, all of those guys, any of those guys watching right now, I'm just going to tell you right now, they don't want it.
No, no, they don't. They don't. They don't want their breasts or vagina grabbed.
You're not as cool as you think you are.
No, no. And what does that really do for you to grab a breast or grab a vagina of a stranger who's crowd surfing?
I wish I could understand that. What are you getting out of that? It's just mushy. It's just mushy bones and flesh just moving across you.
Yeah, dude.
But that might be their only opportunity in life to ever touch a breast, right?
Also, the age. The age factor too. I don't know how young these people were, but when you're younger, you look at it a little bit differently as well, right? Especially how men view women. You know what I mean? From that perspective, it just, for example, a strip club. When you're younger, at least in my experience, I viewed a strip club differently at 15 years old than I did at 25, right? It's just I became more educated and understood what was going on. It's just a different thing. So I think age context is a big thing as well.
So, since you bring that up, I need to ask you, how did you view it when you were younger as opposed to how you view it now? A strip club.
Strip club? Well, I'd say at 15 years old, I'm going through puberty. And when a man or boy goes through puberty, that's all you fucking think about, dude. It's just, you know what I mean? It's all you think about is women. You're exploring at that point. So you walk into a strip club, you're seeing naked women. You haven't seen a lot of breasts in your life. You know what I mean? You don't see a naked woman dancing on a pole like in front of you, entertaining you. It's a big deal when you're like 15 years old. But when you get older and you understand what's going on, it's not so cool anymore. You know what I mean? You actually look at it as a form of exploitation. It's not as sexy anymore. Your vantage point changes in life.
Hey, you know what? I've got a question for you. Somebody brought this up to me the other day. They'd seen something in regards to Instagram, and it was talking about, I just got to get your opinion on this, how I guess it was a girl that had posted something on the fact that it's unfair that guys are allowed to show their nipples on Instagram, but if a girl does it, it's considered sexual, inappropriate, and the content gets erased. I'm just so curious what your thoughts are on that. Is that inequality?
Yeah, it's inequality. It's a double standard, you know, in terms of how we view sexuality and how we sexualize women. That's the ideology, the reasoning behind it. We sexualize women differently than we do men. So there's an inequality in terms of that for sure. And I would agree with her.
Yeah, and do you think that's kind of the reason? I mean, I feel like, I feel like allowing these things, like, it makes it more mysterious, more intriguing, the more you try to hide things, right?
Yep, good point.
And I do believe, compared to when we were kids, like you were saying, when you were 15 going through puberty, all that stuff, or when you were younger going through puberty, and you hadn't seen these things, you're just excited, never seen a boobie. When we were younger, it really was like that. Like, this new generation, I don't think, man, they're getting desensitized. They get to see everything all the time at the click of a couple of buttons.
Click of a couple buttons, and even mainstream, even within mainstream TV shows and film. It wasn't like that back then. If you wanted to see breasts, there was only certain specific avenues that you could go down, right? You could try and find porn, and porn was very difficult to find back then. You know, obviously there wasn't internet, so you had to know, like, that sleazy dude at high school who had the VHS porn tapes. Magazines, do you know what I mean? Magazines as well. And in film, you didn't see a lot of breasts, dude. The only times I could honestly remember seeing a lot of breasts was in horror films, like Friday the 13th and things of that nature. That was the only time you seen like naked women. Go watch a show now. The sexualization of TV now and mainstream media. You're right. People are desensitized. The shit you see now would cause boycotts 20 years ago.
Oh my God, yeah, those shows would not be allowed on the air.
No, dude. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was just watching something. It was a very old actress. I think she's like in her 70s, but she was the first woman to show like her belly button on television. And I was watching it the other day. She was on CNN talking about that and how big of a fucking deal that was. That was a huge deal. Also, if you remember, when Shania Twain first came out, she would bear like the midriff, right? So she'd have like that shirt, and it would be cut short, and she'd be showing her stomach. That's not that long ago. That was a big fucking deal, right?
Yeah,
they were saying, "Oh, she's using sex to sell her music and things of that nature." So yeah, we're not even that far removed. But think of how fast it's moved to now, and what we see now.
Hey, was it the girl from I Dream of Jeannie?
That's her.
Yeah,
that's her.
I thought I saw that too.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, very interesting.
Fuck, I used to watch that show as a kid and get so excited. The only reason why I watched because I thought she was so hot, and it was just like, again, they short. Oh my God.
And how old were you?
I don't even want to talk about it, man. That's just.
That's what I'm saying. Like a hormonal boy, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like starting like, you know, like 13, 14, 15, and going through that little high school phase, dude. That's all you think about. It's crazy. You know what I mean? You can't. Your thoughts are just on that.
Just overwhelming emotions. Always scared to stand up in class, like just in case you get called out. Your biggest fear, riding the bus, if it vibrated too much, it's just like, oh no, how am I gonna get off this bus? It was.
Yeah.
Cal just yells out, "Bus boners, bus boners, man!
Bus boners."
Bus boners are a bigger deal than people realize, man.
No,
epidemic.
The bus boner.
The bus boner, man. I think he just coined a term, Mr. Kilby. He's been saying this, he's been talking about this for years. Well, that's how I first met him, right? I met him out on a street corner downtown, just fucking preaching about bus boners.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you met him on the bus. Both of you guys.
We both had boners.
And you just related. You're like, yeah. You have a bus boner too? Yeah, me too, dude. Friends.
And we just shook boners.
Wow.
That's how we knew. Too far? That's how we knew we were going to be best friends.
That's a beautiful story. It's like a nice little John Hughes 80s film romantic story.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, well, we made quite the transition within Deadline, so I guess we might as well take this opportunity to move over to Smash or Trash, man. For those of you that don't know, Smash or Trash. You know, we really need to come up with a theme song for this, man. Really do.
We gotta make one.
Yeah, you know what? I'll work on that because I'm the musical one of the group.
Yeah, you'll do that.
Yeah, like,
you'll do the theme music.
Yeah, exactly. That's just a terrible idea. So let's get into Smash or Trash. And for those of you that aren't quite familiar with Smash or Trash, what it is it's the opportunity when I ask Bobby, and usually Yas, but Yas, like I said, is away on business, I ask them a bunch of questions, and they tell me if it's a Smash or if it's a Trash, and they back up their reasoning behind it. You got to keep in mind, they've never heard this list before. Well, in this particular case, he's never heard this list before, right? So he's answering these questions off the top of his head. He has no time to prepare for it. So even if it's a Smash or Trash in this minute, maybe if he had more time to think about it, it would change. So, you know, just to keep that in mind, I'm going to join in on the Smash or Trash. I've known it for a while, basically 10 minutes before the show. This is the first one in about several months that I actually put together myself, which I'm kind of proud of, even though, you know, Kyle helped me come up with the last one. But
you put it together?
I put this one together myself. Wow. Kyle's a busy man. Kyle, since he started doing the show, he's in very high demand.
He is, and with that bus boner comment, he's going to be, it's going to go through the roof, Kyle.
Yeah, I would say so. It's really skyrocketed his whole career, right? So it's hard for me to get a hold of him now. I got to call his publicist first and book him to kind of sit beside me to help out with the show. It's a whole thing.
That's what happens. Hey, Cliff, side note,
Yo,
I actually find myself playing Smash or Trash with my friends all the time now. Just
really?
not even knowing. I'll just be like, we'll be talking, and then you know what I mean? Something will pop in my head. Be like, Windex, Smash or Trash, right? And then it turns into this Seinfeldish conversation about Windex.
Oh, you have no idea how much I love hearing that.
It's a great way to communicate.
I think so, because it really starts off, listen, I'm not going to tell you, I'm going to give you my opinion right away, and then I'll back it up. As opposed to the old way where people will tell you a fucking 20-minute long story before they even tell you what they think about the topic.
Cool.
I like it. We're going to do a board game soon, of course, right? We got it.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I think so too.
Trash.
I think me and Kyle don't necessarily do that as much because we're so worried that we're going to waste one. We want to save it for the
Yeah, exactly.
Don't
waste. Exactly.
We might need to use that on the show.
I have the freedom to use whatever I want, and it feels great.
I know. You're just living the dream over there, and I'm just nothing but envious.
Shackle-free. Yes, sir.
Yeah, life's good. So let's get into our first Smash or Trash. You know, I don't know what I was thinking there. Let's get into it. Smash or Trash on outhouses. Look at that really blurry picture of an outhouse.
Dude, that's an awesome... Wow. That's like a very dilapidated outhouse.
I really like that. I don't. What is that? Is that a refrigerator door?
Yeah, what is it? Yeah.
I don't know. I'm genuinely baffled by the whole thing.
Well, first of all, super fucking smash on that outhouse. It says Donovan Creek Mines. Sick, but it looks like it should be in Camp Crystal Lake. Super fucking smash to that outhouse. In outhouses in general. I'm gonna smash.
Okay, that's fair. I am going to. Okay, I'm going to give it a trash just because I love, going with the opposite thing of what the other person says. And the reason why I'm going to give it a trash is it's the most horrifying experience to me. I am pretty sure every single time, my whole entire life, a grown adult man that knows better, I am sure there's something in there that's going to grab me and pull me down there. I'm sure of it every single time I've ever gone in an outhouse. I can't wait to get off that thing. I can't have a comfortable... I'm gonna say poop. I can't poop comfortably.
Okay, I'm gonna smash it for the opposite reason. Well, the excitement. I like the excitement, dude.
Yeah, that's true. You've always kind of lived your life on the edge, my friend. That's.
I like the excitement. I don't necessarily like the smell or the flies. Do you know what I mean? But.
There's nothing good about it.
It's just a different washroom experience. Smash.
Okay, smash. I'm going trash. So that's where we're gonna meet on that particular one. Moving on to the next one. Smash or trash on sandals.
Trash.
All right. Why?
Never been a fan of the sandal. I just don't. I think from an aesthetic perspective, I don't like the way they look.
Well, you know what? I gotta admit, I probably took a picture of the most hideous.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
From the 90s, just absolutely fucking horrible. Velcroed up so you feel nice and safe and secure in your sandals. This sandal in particular. So for me, huge smash. The first second I can wear sandals, I'm wearing sandals. And I wear it till the absolute last moment, before winter, that I absolutely have to stop wearing those sandals. Gotcha. The reason why I like wearing them, laziness. Because I like to walk right into my shoes. I don't want to bend over, don't want to do anything. I want to walk in a direction, and then at one point while walking in that direction, partway through that walk, I have shoes on my feet.
Okay. What about in terms of a comfort thing?
You get so used to them after a while. I find them more comfortable. Um, there's an adjustment period. So I got to tell the truth here. I just recently got Kyle into the sandal. Kyle is
Okay.
having a hard time with the sandal. All right.
So
So
he's a new
it's
sandal
really
guy.
he's not a sandal guy, right? So he's new. He's a sandal virgin, I guess you could say. Um, and so I've popped his cherry with the sandal. I feel like it's something that could apply nicely to his life. It's something that I like, so I want other people to like it as well.
Okay.
But it's difficult. There's a little bit of a period. It's, for example, if you wear contacts, the first time you're putting in those contacts, it's gonna bugger up your eyes.
Hmm.
And I can see his feet right now. See, like he's not. Are you trying to put your feet in the frame there, Cass? I popped his cherry with the sandals. Yeah, he wanted me to say that again. Um, so it's like he's on the bus right now. He's looking for a bus boner. Uh, yeah, so he doesn't like it so far. He's having a hard time. But you get used to it after a while, and I find it way more comfortable. You can kick them off whenever you want. A lot of times I go out in public, like I'll go out for drinks, I'll sit down, I'll kick my sandals off while I'm in there. I just want my feet out all the time.
All right. Well, you're a big fan of the sandal.
Did I make a good argument for it?
Well,
No?
it is a compelling argument.
Yeah, okay.
I get it. But yeah, I'm gonna go trash. I have to go trash, buddy. Trash
Yeah,
on the
you're
sandal.
sticking with trash. That's perfectly fair, and I respect your opinion, my friend. Um,
Likewise.
so moving on to the next one. Number 3, smash or trash on vacationing at resorts.
Smash. Smash. To be honest, I haven't really vacationed a lot at resorts. Most of my traveling has come through work, so through music and stuff like that. So I've never really like did like that whole resort vacation thing, but it looks fabulous. Look at that picture.
Yeah, I know. Like I picked one that made it really difficult to go any other way with it.
And then,
Um,
yeah, that looks like beautiful and very rich, like Dubai.
yeah,
Like, is
but
that
a
in
place.
Dubai?
Yeah, well, I would guess. I have no idea, but it's definitely like a place that like I would get kicked out of very quickly. I would be spotted like that, just like he does not belong here.
Oh, me and you both, dude. Me and you
Get
both.
him, get
I would
him out.
last like a day. I would last a day.
Get him out. And then Kyle would just come swooping in with his beautiful new sandals on and his bus boner, and the women would just be all over him, and he'd just be loving life, man. Him and his publicist.
Him and his publicist.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I picked too nice of a resort. I should have just picked a shitty one, just
Well,
because
but I
there's so
mean,
many.
resorts in general, I mean, obviously, well, if as long as you don't have a bad experience, resorts in general are awesome. I mean, how could you knock a resort? Me, from a preference standpoint, when I travel, I like to go to places with a little bit more like culture and history. I like to like kind of navigate and look around and educate myself. But on the other end, you get to just chill in the sun with drinks. You know what I mean? That's appealing as well.
That's why, what you just said there is the reason why I'm going the opposite way with this, and I'm going with the trash,
Okay.
because I do feel like for the aspect of culture and for
Mhm.
really kind of appreciating and seeing the world for what it is and
Yeah.
all of that stuff, because I do think resorts are very much an illusion that's created by, very rich people in
True.
areas that have a completely different culture.
Hmm.
Um, so that's why, from that point of view, I'm going to go with the trash on it. Even though, of course, who doesn't want to go to a place where you're pampered and served? But I do feel like there's something more rich for a human being to actually go to the place where the action is happening.
I
And
would
that's not a resort.
I would completely agree with you. Like if you asked me to choose like the most wonderful, warm, beautiful, sunny resort over, say, Berlin, Germany, which is, you know what I mean, I would choose Berlin, Germany, because of the history and the things you could learn there. And I've been there; it's phenomenal. So I agree with you, but I do see a point in going to a resort, just from an escapism standpoint, right? Like sometimes you need that. So.
Yeah, and ultimately, I just love going with the opposite of everything you say. So
So far, yeah. So far,
yeah,
it's three, and we do not agree.
Yeah, 3. Oh, see, this guy's a fucking rapper, man. He's
Woohoo!
poetic, man. So next up on Smash or Trash, number 4. Smash or Trash on using sex to sell.
Sex to sell. Trash. Yeah, I'm not a. That's a really big conversation. Um, in terms
Yeah.
of the sexualization of women, not a fan at all. Especially to sell a product. Like, what's that? Is that selling alcohol on the left?
I would guess it's perfume, I think.
Perfume. One of them's perfume, which is right on the vagina. It's fucking amazing. Yeah, and the other one looks. Yeah.
That one makes that one. I'm guessing the one on the right. Oh, you know what? I think. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if we're looking at the same ones. The vagina one, I think, is perfume, and the bum one is alcohol. I think it's vodka.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, I thought that was alcohol. Okay, so look at that, and what does that have to do? What does alcohol have to do with that, and what does
Well,
perfume
I
have
like
to do with that?
I associate when I'm drinking alcohol, I want to meet that girl, and when
Yeah.
I'm wearing perfume, I want to meet that girl. So that's
I,
basic logic there.
I get the psychology behind it. It's just funny when you break things down for what they are.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
And again, okay, this is going to be our first agreement, which is exciting. I knew we were going to get here. Yeah, just gigantic trash. It's the lowest common denominator of marketing. I think that, yes, of course it works. We understand why it works. But, you know, for those brands that associate themselves that way, I don't know. I just think that they could do so much better, right? And I think that there's a very specific reason why the major brands, like that aren't alcohol related, the brands that actually have genius marketers involved with them don't use these techniques, right? When you look at Apple, for example, like the second, has the second highest worth of any other company in the world, second to Google, who just took it over actually, doesn't use sex to sell. They use very creative marketing.
Mhm. Well, yeah, you hit it on the head. It comes down to creativity. If they're not using sex to sell, they would have to actually create something. Do you know what I'm saying? It's the easy punch, right? It's the easy thing. Exactly.
So, yeah, I'm definitely going to agree with you on that one. Just a big trash to using sex to sell. So we will move on, however, to number 5, and I got to find my picture here. That's what I'm doing here. I saved the picture in here. Oh, here it is. I like to have the pictures. I think it really adds a lot to this. People get probably sick of
the pictures.
People get sick of looking at me. Probably not you, but probably sick of looking at me. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna assume that you could guess what this Smash or Trash is. Smash or Trash to peace symbols. Just kidding.
To wearing jeans in the summer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like
So
crowd
Smash or
surfing?
Trash to crowd surfing, yes.
Super Smash. Super Smash. I mean, both Yas and I do it as artists. Sometimes it works out great, sometimes it doesn't, but it's appealing, it's exciting. You're in the moment. Obviously, look how much fun this dude is having. How could you trash that? Smash.
Yeah, this dude is having just an absolute.
Yeah,
blast.
dude, like that's the highlight of his life.
Yeah, that's it. He'll be talking about this forever. Like he was having a shitty night up to this point, though, right? Because like he was excited to go out. He was excited to go and hang out with his friends. He was gonna have a great time. He's like, before I go out, because there's an opportunity I might meet a girl, I want to get a haircut, right? And he went to a barber, just tried out a new barber for the first time, and unfortunately, that barber gave this man a bowl cut. He really fucked up. He fucked up. Gave him a bad haircut.
It fucked up, but his day prior wasn't going so well. Like, I mean, he was in school. He failed the midterm.
Yeah.
And then he went back home, very angry. Went back on some Columbine shit. Was gonna shoot up his school, and decided to go to this rock concert and change his life.
It really did change his life. The problem is he took so much time planning out this Columbine type situation, and then he gave up. He planned so much time, he didn't give him enough time to go to his regular barber, right? And that's how he ended up.
Well, maybe he's a huge fan of Dumb and Dumber, though.
I do think so, right? Yeah, I do think
Boy,
so.
kind of looks Lloyd
Yeah, well,
Christmas-ish.
that's what he thought he wanted when he asked for the haircut, but when he's seen it, he realized that's not his thing anymore. He wants to be the bad boy now. He thought he was the funny guy, but now he wants to be the bad boy. So
Well, that's what happens when you fail a midterm. You become the bad guy.
that is what happens, actually. Yeah, we know that all too well, right? I've failed a few midterms in my day. Got a lot of bad haircuts. A lot of bad haircuts.
Oh, yeah.
All right, brother. Moving on to number 6. Smash or trash 2. Censorship.
Trash. Complete fucking trash. I'm a huge proponent of freedom of speech. Anything that censors people is not a good thing. That's my short explanation.
Okay, that's a good short explanation. I'll accept it. I'm just gonna fucking do it just to play the devil's advocate and go against the grain and get people pissed off at me. And I'm gonna say censorship smash.
Okay.
It's censorship, not censorship necessarily in its current form, but censorship in general smash. Because I do believe that censorship is important for creating a outline for where things should and should not be shown. And there are things that should and should not be shown in certain places. And I guess, you know, giving the big companies that make advertising, that make movies, that make music, they are going to do whatever it takes to make money. And they're not necessarily going to be socially responsible. Mm-hmm. So that could lead to a little bit of an issue and an imbalance in the system, right? Mm-hmm. I think censorship is a smash because it is there in part to balance something out, and it forces people to be more creative than they would be if they weren't being censored.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what things? What I hear your argument. What things do you feel should be censored? Just.
For example, poster, let's say an advertisement for a children's product that uses nudity. I know it's extreme, but I'm just going to use that as an example. Should or should that not be censored? Mm-hmm.
I think it should be censored. Like, I do think that there are things that should be censored. Like, what about racist comments? Those things probably should be censored, even though you're entitled to your opinion. They should be censored. I think the argument lies, where's that line? Do you know what I mean? And who defines that line? And censorship's a really scary thing, because once you start setting that line, who controls that line? People with, like you said, with the power, the megaphone, right? And unfortunately, that balance of power will always exist, right? So I do believe that people should be entitled to their freedom of speech, regardless.
All right, so we are definitely going to disagree, and this is a conversation that could go on for a lot longer, right? Because these topics, they're not black and white, right? We try to sum them up like this because we're doing a smash or trash, but the reality is, it's a big topic, right? And especially when
censorship, like, you could talk about censorship. We could do that for hours. We could have an academic conversation. Problem is, when you say one thing, it goes down the other road, and then this show will turn into like the 6-hour epic Misfit Monday on censorship.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not saying that that's not going to happen one of these days, but on this particular show, we're going to move on, and we're going to move on to a topic that I consider much more serious. All right. Smash or trash, and this is really important, man, and I think that people should pay attention to this particular one, especially because Bobby's answer is very important on this this topic. Smash or trash on ice cream sandwiches, my friend?
Smash. Smash. Huge fan of the ice cream sandwich. It might have... Yeah, huge fan. Dude, I remember, like, going to the corner store and, like, reaching into that deep freezer, you know what I mean, on a hot summer day, opening it up and just seeing the cold come out, and just, for some reason, the ice cream sandwich was like, just stood out. It was like shining, brimming with light. Yeah, dude, huge fan of the ice cream sandwich.
All right, so it's really, 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 really difficult for me to disagree with you on this particular one, even though like I like to for the sake of argument. But I would just be a fucking complete. I feel like it would be irresponsible for me not to express my love for ice cream sandwiches.
Do you
I
know?
don't have
Do you know what does suck about the ice cream sandwich though?
what? What's that?
Is when you're holding it and you're eating, you gotta eat fast because if you eat it slow, the chocolate stuff gets stuck to your fingers, and I hate that.
You know what? That's the
I
reason
hate
why I
it.
don't eat. I get where you're coming from. I'm willing to accept that, though. Like, I'm willing to accept that shitty part. It's kind of like, me. I don't eat popcorn. Love the smell of it. Love popcorn for the most part. Can't deal with it getting in my teeth. I'll pick at my teeth forever, so I just don't eat it because I just avoid the irritation of it all. But back to ice cream sandwich.
Pros don't outweigh the cons. Good point.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. The ice cream sandwich is a brilliant thing. I love it because it combines ice cream and it combines sandwiches. I love both of those things, right? And I like them a lot. I don't eat them very often because there's a little bit of an addiction there. One time, I ate an entire box, like a box filled with ice cream sandwiches in one sitting. And I was so sick. I was never so sick in my entire life. It was just a horrendous, horrendous experience. So that's it. That happened, man. That happened to me. I lived that. I lived through that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, people that talk about how they lived through a war and stuff. That's kind of like that was my war. The ice cream sandwich war of '04.
Well, look at that. You'll be 7 years old in a rocking chair in front of your patio, and that memory is going to pop into your head, and you're going to be like, I fucking lived life. Do you know what I mean? I did it. I did what I wanted to do.
Yeah, my grandchildren will be impressed, that's for sure.
And you'll probably still be eating them at 70.
Exactly. No teeth or anything, just fucking gumming away at it. Just gums as sharp as razor blades.
Well, you don't need teeth to eat it, really.
That's, again, another one of the beauties of the ice cream sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need teeth.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Hey, there's also no, I'm not even gonna go there. Let's move on to the next one. All right, Smash or Trash. To actress and Ginger. Oh shit, you can't even see her. Amy Adams.
I can't see the face. I can only see the bottom. Is that the girl from Wedding Crashers?
No, I like that girl. I like that girl. But hold on, give me 1 second here. Give me a second. Let's just continue talking about ice cream sandwiches. Hey, that guy that was crowd surfing earlier, I bet you he was upset because just before he left to go to the concert, he was planning on having an ice cream sandwich that he remembered that he left in the box. And then just before leaving the house, turns out that his brother ate his ice cream sandwich.
That's highly plausible. I like that scenario.
That's upsetting, man. That's upsetting. Hey, there, you can kind of see her now. Amy Adams.
Oh, huge fan.
Yeah, she's in so many things now too. Like she's just killing it. So
she was in American Hustle.
She is?
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of her. Big fan. That is her in Wedding Crashers, dude.
No, it's not.
No?
It's not. The one from Wedding Crashers here. Let me pull up a picture of her.
The Psycho Girl.
Yeah, the Psycho Girl. Let me bring this up. Explain to me why you're giving Amy Adams a smash. You tell me.
I like her. I just like her attitude. Like when I watch her, she's believable. She's a believable actress for me. Like, and she was amazing in American Hustle.
Yeah, she's amazing in that. She's amazing. I thought she did a great job in Man of Steel, where she plays Lois Lane.
I didn't see that.
Oh, you didn't see
Now
it?
we'll watch it.
You need to see Man of Steel. She's great in
No.
Her. Did you watch Her yet?
Yeah, phenomenal. Phenomenal, dude.
So she's the best
And like
friend.
with me, like when it comes down to acting and yeah, for me when it comes down to acting and how I decide kind of like how I like actors, is same with art. It's always if their art is believable to me, right? Like if their character is believable. And when I watch her, I believe.
Yeah,
It's
super
that
important
simple
because
for me.
you're not looking at her as her. You're not saying, "Oh, there's Amy Adams. Here's Amy Adams in this scene. I like this scene with Amy Adams."
Yes.
You're just like whatever
Yeah.
character she's playing. Like, yeah. There's Sydney. Sydney's in the scene. Sydney's gonna get
Like I
crazy.
believe her. I believe.
You believe that?
What's that?
You believe that?
I believe that.
You believe
I
that?
believe that.
And there's the other girl.
What's going
There's
on?
That's
Yeah,
Isla.
she's awesome.
Isla Fisher. She's the girl from Wedding Crashers, who's also awesome.
Oh, okay, yeah. Now it makes sense to me.
Yeah, see, they're very similar looking.
Yeah, super cool.
I'm gonna give them both huge smashes
Yeah,
because they're
I
both
prefer
very.
Amy Adams though.
Yeah, so do I. Actually, well, because she has a bigger body of work and her stuff is just a
Yeah.
lot. I mean, it's just phenomenal stuff that she's doing, right? Um, yeah, big fan, huge smash to just gingers in general.
You're a ginger guy, huh?
Oh, big, huge ginger. Love gingers. I remember there was a point when like it seemed like nobody was really attracted to gingers. Like it was like being a ginger. Like girls that were redheads, they wished their hair color was a different color. But they're all the rage, to use like a really like cool and very like
Okay.
contemporary term. All the rage.
Is, is there a difference between for you in terms of attraction to a woman who is naturally redheaded,
Yes, there's a
or
difference.
or a girl who just has red hair, right? Because a naturally redheaded girl usually is, pale, freckles, things of that nature. So for you,
And
is there
again,
a difference?
there is, and I prefer a natural redhead. And I love freckles. Huge fan of freckles.
Fan of the
Um,
freckle.
fan of the freckle. Freckle fan. I'm a
Freckle fan.
I'm
Nice.
gonna get a shirt made that just says freckle fan. You have freckles? Come and talk. Let's chat. I want to chat with you. You could talk. I'm just gonna stare at your freckles. I'm completely intrigued by them. I'm just gonna be connecting everything in my head. Just love it. It's so awesome.
I feel that would be highly successful, Cliff.
I think
I'm with you
so.
on that one.
Okay, I appreciate that, and I love that about you. But that, my friend, is the end of Smash or Trash. And just if in case anybody was wondering, I won that episode of Smash or Trash. I'm the winner.
Wow. Well, that's a little bit biased.
Yeah,
You're the
no,
one keeping the points.
Oh, you think so? I don't see. I thought that was an unbiased opinion. All right, well, we better
I've
move
been
on.
robbed. I've been robbed.
You got robbed big time, man. So we better move on to Q&A because I don't want people to start asking too many questions. Moving on to Q&A, and this is the part of the show where, y'all watching could ask some questions, and we will answer those questions. So let me start off here. Pam Stanatus, I'm hoping I'm saying that right, asks, who is your favorite wrestler? And I'm assuming she means pro wrestler.
Pro wrestler. First, shout out to Pam. Thanks for the question. Much appreciated. Not a big wrestling guy. But when I was younger, I was a huge fan of a wrestler. Two wrestlers, or technically three. One was this guy named Steve Strong. He had 26-inch pythons, and he would kiss his arm. I'm a big fan of him. But my favorite wrestlers of all time are the Road Warriors. They were a tag team duo, and they came out to Iron Man by Ozzy Osbourne. They're my favorite wrestlers of all time. Road Warriors.
Yeah, well, that's a real good one, man. I actually forgot about the Road Warriors until you brought that up just now. Yeah, the Road Warriors are fucking amazing. I love. Weren't they like interim champions or something?
Yeah, they were, and then they changed their name. I think they went to the WWF and changed their name to, I can't remember what it was. It wasn't the same though, but they were fucking awesome, dude. Animal and Hawk. That was their names. Animal and Hawk.
Awesome, dude. But yeah, that fucking super nostalgic, dude. I love old school wrestling. I really loved it when we were kids. Like it's really kind of, in my opinion, kind of ridiculous now. I don't know how people still watch it. I watched it because I actually thought it was real for the longest time. Yeah, but I loved it. I love the drama of it all. This is super entertaining. Yeah, my favorite wrestler of all time was Ricky the Dragon. Ricky the Dragon had all the moves, man.
Sick.
Remember Rick?
Steamboat?
Yeah. Yeah, Steamboat. The
Yeah,
Steamboat,
that
man.
roundhouse kick, that side kick, roundhouse kick.
Yeah. I bought him
Yeah,
too
dude.
because I believed. I was like, again, I had that stereotype in
dope.
my head. I had the stereotype in my head that I genuinely, as a child, believed. And this is ridiculous and embarrassing to admit. And you know what? I bet you there's adults that believe this. I believe the only people that could do martial arts were Asians. I honestly thought that as a kid. So, and I was such a fan of martial arts growing up that I thought that, like, I wanted to be Asian so badly because I wanted to be really good at martial arts. I thought that was the only way. That's the truth. You guys just found out something about me, man. I was a little racist when I was a kid.
That's amazing, actually.
Yeah, exactly. I would show up to karate class.
Yeah, but I can see, obviously, because, like, hey, yo, it's a little bit choppy right now.
Oh yeah, I thought so because you responded to what I said a little bit later, so I just sat here silently waiting for you to laugh at little racist clip. But that's what we saw when we were young, right? We just saw like all the kung fu movies came from Asia.
Exactly, dude. And when they didn't come, like, even like a cool like American kung fu movie like American Ninja is fucking awesome, but the lead guy wasn't always believable for me. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, why is he not Asian? Why is he not Sho Kosugi? Do you know what I mean? Sho Kosugi is a famous Japanese ninja. I completely agree with you. It just wasn't believable.
That's it. It didn't feel the same. So yeah, that was a little bit of an issue for me growing up. So Ricky Steamboat, my friend. Next question for you. Mike John Vargas asks, "What up, Mike? How you doing? What are your guys' thoughts of Juggalos being labeled as a gang for the FBI, but not label Lady Gaga's little fan monsters as a gang?"
Well, my thoughts is it's fucking ridiculous. The Juggalos are not a gang. They're a group of people who love music, love and appreciate music. But the FBI loves to, or the government, U.S. government loves to do that to groups of people in general. So obviously, it's not a good thing.
Yeah, well, it's ridiculous, right? I
Yeah,
completely
it's almost too ridiculous to expand on. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're a group of fans who actually love fucking music. So.
Yeah, it goes against the definition of what a gang is. Why? Because they're not coordinated. They're not coordinated. They're not organized in the sense that they're planning illegal activities, right?
No.
I guess they're organized in the fact that when there's a concert, they get a poster out there and they have the date and the location, and they show up and listen to music. So if that's how we're defining gangs now, well then, you know what? We're in trouble.
Yeah, completely agree with you. Completely agree.
Yeah, I give that a huge, huge fucking ridiculous trash.
Yes, sir.
Trash. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
another question. Yes, sir. So next question is from, this is going to be a tough one, B. Tal Placido Govan is the name of this person. And they ask, if you could time travel to any place in time and history, when and where would you choose, and what would you do there?
Wow. Wow.
That's a big one.
I personally would time travel back to the 60s. The 60s to me is like the most interesting time period in the world. A lot of shit was going on, right? Like in terms of change and activism and just the music. It was just a very tumultuous time, but a time of big change. So I would love to like experience that. The 60s would be my era. I think I would go back to.
Yeah, that's a good era to go back to. Jesus, Murphy, that's a real tough one.
Yeah,
Did you, what would you do when you got there?
That's a good question. I'm laughing because it's funny. Like I don't know. I'm just plot me in like Back to the Future. Do you know what I mean? What do you do?
I like your time travel machine, actually.
Yeah,
There's
dude,
a lot of like time travel machines, like you zap in, or you just like you drive your DeLorean in. You get plopped into like a different time periods. Like I picture like just hands going, bloop, and you're just in the 60s.
Yeah, exactly, and it's just like figure it out. No, just be like the experience to like experience all that shit firsthand. You know what I mean? Like think of what the '60s were, like all the shit that happened. I'm a big civil rights movement guy, so I would love to experience that firsthand. Imagine getting to hear like Malcolm X or Martin Luther King speak live. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, that's
You know what I mean?
insane.
And just all the change that was happening like during that time. There's just a lot of shit happening in that era. So
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a tough one, man. I don't even know how to answer that question. I
but
can't.
yeah, you can make an argument for any decade though, because
Yeah, it's like
there's a lot of cool shit. Like
I can tell you where I don't want to go.
where?
Anything before the 1900s. Like, really have no interest. Actually, you know what? I have a hard time, like, accepting that I want to be any time before the 70s. Like, you got the 60s in there, but I'm not too sure I want to live in those times, especially here.
Yeah.
I really think that it's just like, it's not what people, like, really romanticize it to be. It was a very, you know, especially back, like, you think of the medieval days, man, like, things weren't simple. Things were brutal and violent.
No, the '60s was bad for anybody who was of non-Caucasian status. You know what I mean? So yeah, I get it from that standpoint.
Yeah, for me, it would just be the 80s, and I would go to a Tiffany concert, and I would obviously find a way to talk to her. I would romance her. I would charm her, and then I would basically give her no opportunity other than to just madly fall in love with me. And then I'd give her some career advice. I'd try to guide her career a little bit because I know what she should do because I have that knowledge for some reason. But, you know, we would make love a lot. She would play music for me, perform a lot. And,
she would play one song over and over for you. I think we're alone now. Just that.
Yeah, exactly. But
she's a redhead.
Yeah.
She's a redhead, Cliff.
That's what would happen, man. But eventually we would break up because I would realize that we were never alone when she sang that song, and I would just be so upset that she'd been lying to me all this time. I wouldn't be able to handle it. That's it. Yeah. That's my answer, dude. That's my answer.
That's a really good answer.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next question. Sarah Parsons asks, do you have any nasty scars? That's an interesting question.
Wow. That's actually a good question. Shout out to Sarah. No, I don't have any nasty scars. I have one on my knee that I received running from the police because I ripped a sticker off a Dickie D truck. Boom.
Well, like were you like? Was this after you stole a few ice cream sandwiches?
I didn't steal any ice cream sandwiches. I got pissed at the Dickie D guy, and I ripped the sticker off his little truck. And then the police came, and I ran, and I jumped a fence, and my knee got caught in a piece of the fence and ripped my knee open.
Youch. You're like a hardened criminal, weren't you?
That's my hood.
That's
That's
it,
my
man.
hood story. But you know what's funny? Like where I grew up, kids did that shit all the time. The Dickie D guy didn't like going in there. Do you know what I mean? He was not looking forward to that part of his route.
he was relieved when that portion of his route was completed. Yeah, well, you know what? Telling stories like that, man. That's just good for album sales. That's just good for album sales right there. That story gets released. Fucking watch out, man.
Oh, fuck, yeah, it shows my gangster side. It legitimizes me.
Yeah, it really does. I'm intimidated. Like I said, this is like our third date, and I think you're a little bit too badass for me. You know, I want more stability.
No, I think your mind will change. You need that edge. Do you know what I mean? That edge, you need it. I think you'll change your mind on that.
Well, that's what I'm saying out loud, but inside, you know what I mean?
Exactly. You like the danger.
I don't want you to think I'm easy. So I'm going to say all the things, but I have every intention of going home with you tonight.
Well, I've already won then.
Yeah, you won big time, son. All right. My answer to that question is I do not have any scars. I just don't. I wish I had something interesting to say.
Just say all my scars are inside.
All the scars are inside. I guess I do have a little scar here, just a small little one from when I tried to hit a jump on my GT and I didn't have the arm strength at the time to hold the wheel, so my face was smashed. It smashed off the wheel when I hit the ground, and so the teeth went right to the... Yeah, that's actually kind of a lie.
Smashed the GT.
Smashed the GT on my face. I don't know if you guys could see it. It's going out of focus. I have another scar right across my head here from when I tried to ride my older sister's bike, and when I stopped, it just right down on the ground. So there you go. There's two scars. All right,
two beautiful stories.
Thank you very much. Another question by Mike Schultz asked, who would you pick, real or fictional, as a personal bodyguard / best friend?
Oh, he's not
I like the / best friend part.
He's not giving me a choice, so I have to actually pick one?
Yeah, you have to pick one. Yeah, you don't have options.
Does he have to? Can he be dead and pretend he's alive?
Sure, yeah.
That's easy. Bruce Lee.
Yeah, like
simple, dude. He kicks ass, and I could listen to him talk all day.
Fuck, eh?
Bruce Lee.
Yeah, who else do you pick? I guess I'm just gonna like myself like the next obvious choice from Bruce Lee, because Bruce Lee is the #1 answer. So I'm gonna pick #2, which I believe is a close second, Webster.
Dude, exactly. He's like the quiet assassin. You know what I mean?
Well, that's it.
He doesn't look like much, but he's scary because he doesn't look like much. So you're wondering and thinking that guy knows a lot of shit. He has to.
Yeah, like you gotta think that this is a grown man that looks like an 8-year-old, right? So he's small. He's African American, which is no real relevance on it, but he. I just think that's kind of awesome. And he's just cool. He's Webster, right? And if you don't know who Webster is, you better look it up. Nobody's really gonna attack you when you're with Webster, right? Like who's gonna go through this guy, right? And how awesome would he be just to throw on your shoulder and just like hang out at parties?
Like a backpack.
That's basically a backpack. It's like having a child that's already a grown-up. Like, you don't have to clean his diaper or any of that stuff, but you get all the cool benefits of having a really cute child with you.
Dude, I love it. Love it.
Oh my goodness! All right. Oh, we have a final question.
All right.
The final question is from our friend Melissa Minot. Is that how you say her last name? Minot? I always want to say Minot. It's pretty much like Minot.
Minot.
Like, how about like me? No. Me? No. Me?
It has to be high and low like the Cookie Monster. You know what I mean? Like, dear. Bar. Dear. Bar.
Me? No.
No. No.
Now, whenever I see that girl, that's all I'm gonna do.
All right, what's the question?
Oh yeah, good.
Kind of got sidetracked there.
All right, final question. Who would you hate to see naked? All right, I like that. I mean, it's interesting.
That's a good question. Who would you hate to see naked? Wow. I got one.
Oh, okay.
Roseanne Barr.
Ooh. Yeah, because I feel like she'd be really annoying and whiny while naked.
Is that exactly it? It's not even the body. It's just that annoying voice. Roseanne Barr is my choice.
All right, that's a good one. That's a good one.
What you got, Cliff?
What do I got? Let me think. Okay. All right. Kyle's answer is Michael Jackson, but I really that would be like probably like looking at that would be like looking at like a Barbie doll. Like it would probably have no features or anything on it, right? On it, him. God
it's not even human. It's not even human underneath. It's just robot.
Dude. Let's go with Toronto Mayor Rob Ford.
Actually, that'd be interesting.
Because I think you would find stuff in there.
You would. It's probably a treasure trove.
Probably
like Mr. Dress Up treasure trove of stuff.
A full bottle of like Wisers. Just whiskey. Lots of crack. He means that like in every possible way.
Like just a bag of crack in his crack.
He's like, that's crack. Crack is the worst kind of crack. All right. I don't think we could go anywhere from there. That, my friends, is the end of this week's episode of Misfit Mondays, and I think we ended on a good note, right? Crack. Last thing I want to say is bus boners.
We ended on crack. Bus boners. Shout out to the Sudbury Transit.
Nice. Creating boners all over the world, or all over the city. All right, thank you so much on behalf of Bobby and our friend Yas that's missing in action at the moment. My name is Cliff Skeletor. You just watched Misfit Monday. Oh yeah, big thanks to Kyle for being the man. Peace.
Shout out to Kyle. Peace.